We'll see if Dan Mullen feels like making a bold move here. Chose not to go for it on 4th and 1 at midfield. Tommy Townsend, a couple of fakes in his career, one of them unsuccessful last week, as we said, and he's just going to try to pin LSU deep. High boot. Stingley comes up, makes a fair catch at the 18-yard line. John Grenard not in the game, and not with his helmet on, Maria. That is not a good sign, is it?
Yeah, we saw him earlier. It was a right ankle that he was pointing to after the first series of this game, and he came over to the sidelines, and he was working hard, guys, to see if he could put enough pressure on it to return to this game. He went into the tent. He had his helmet on until about 5 minutes ago when he dropped it, put a towel over his head, and he sat down at the end of the bench. A lot of players have come up. He's been visibly upset. Todd Grantham has stopped and talked to him as they try to keep his head in the game, but he's still been trying to be a leader here for this Florida defense on the side.
Grad transfer from Louisville, Maria, one of the best pass rushers in the country. And you know he's frustrated about that.
Yeah, and a big part of the success of this defense. They said he just has that veteran presence in the room.
Freshman tailback John Emery Jr. in the game. And Zuniga stops him.
You know, while Grenard goes out, Zuniga is the guy now who's been out, now has to step up. Watch him here. Watch the motor he plays with and the ability to fight through and get through that offensive line. I mean, if you're a Florida Gator fan, you like to see the 92 healthy making plays like that.
And 2nd down, Burrow flushed. Tips his hand early that he's going to run, but it doesn't matter because he's got a lot of running room and a first down across the 32.
Yeah, he has offensive linemen up on the right side. He's got receivers. It's like a design quarterback draw that it took some time for him to finally work his way to get away from that Gator defense. And once he did, he had a convoy of linemen out in front of him.
Edwards-Helaire back in the game. They fake it to him, and Burrow over the middle, delivers a dart, caught by Jefferson. Justin Jefferson slips a tackle, step out of bounds, back near the Florida 30, I believe.
A great route by Justin Jefferson. He and Joe Burrow have been in sync all year long. They're playing zone. They get behind the linebacker in front of the safety. And McMath, 17, did a nice job of clearing out the zone there to open up and give Justin Jefferson even more room. If they have space, 9 and 2 are going to connect.
Slipped the tackle of Donovan Siner, got 36 yards. Now Burrow looking downfield again, lofts it to the end zone, into double coverage, and a flag comes out as they were covering Jefferson a little too tightly. Steiner involved, as well as Trey Dean.
Yeah, Trey Dean is going to be the culprit. He was pushing Jefferson as he's running the route.
Pass interference, defense, number 21, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
James Carter, our referee tonight.
Shows you the confidence that Burrow has. He just hit Jefferson. Look at that coverage even before the interference. There's the interference, but look at the coverage by the Gators. And Joe Burrow said, no problem. I can get the ball in. I can get the ball in there to Justin Jefferson. But they catch the break there with the pass interference.
Not short on confidence is Mr. Burrow. And you can't blame him the way he started this season. Tigers back in the red zone, where again they've been perfect this season. And almost perfect scoring touchdowns. Edwards-Helaire shows that leg strength. Sawed-off little guy, but boy, is he strong in the lower body.
Oh, he is. Low center of gravity, does a nice job. You know, you think about Burrow and throwing that pass. How many times do you watch the NFL with guys like Drew Brees and what they do? He's right here in the middle. What they do when they throw the ball, the receiver looks like he's covered.
Burrow pump fakes, scanning the end zone, rolling out, fires a dart, caught. Is it a touchdown? Jefferson was right in the pylon, and he did get in. Not much room. Progressive pylon cam will show whether or not he did break the plane with that football. It was very close, but Burrow again showing that confidence.
And again, fighting through a lot of physicality there by Trey Dean. Progressive pylon cam showing you that is great concentration. Yeah, he's in the end zone for the touchdown. How about Burrow's athletic ability to dip underneath the pressure, scramble to his right, and eventually finds Jefferson being able to pull away for that touchdown.
Official's hat bringing us that view. So the two top receivers, Jamar Chase and now Justin Jefferson, have each caught touchdown passes in the first half on bullet throws from Joe Burrow, who's got 24 touchdown passes this season.
Yeah, nice job. Look at his eyes downfield. He's scrambling for his life, but he keeps his eyes and his poise downfield. Like I said, he's got accuracy not just from the pocket, but also on the move, able to hit Jefferson for that touchdown.
Talking about this is game 6, Kirk, and an LSU quarterback has 24 touchdown passes. Let that just sink in, folks.
Yeah,
it's for a game.
It's incredible. I mean, every time you watch LSU this year, you continue to just blink and say, is this real? I mean, Joe Brady brought this system in, and Burrow is a perfect fit for what they're doing this year.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Touchdown.
You know, he told us yesterday, last year was more uncomfortable for me because in high school and at Ohio State, I was in a shotgun spread offense. Last year I was under center to back. It was almost like he was playing left-handed. Now they go back to more of a spread attack, and he just, the way he prepares and gets ready for the week, he and Joe Brady are inseparable, and obviously it pays off for him on Saturday nights.
He's 22 years old. Brady is 30. Interesting relationship, and Burrow basically lives in the football complex. He's a graduate, takes all his classes online, and prepares like a pro, and it shows, doesn't it? So Jefferson finds the end zone. Tigers go 82 yards in about 2 minutes and 5 plays, and they reclaim the lead, 14-7. Place is certainly unique and electric, but so is the whiteout at Penn State. Best atmosphere north of the Mason-Dixon line for sure in college football. Nittany Lions and Wolverines next Saturday night on ABC, 7:30 Eastern. Michigan winning against Illinois today. Back and forth game, and Penn State a 7-3 lead at Iowa, approaching halftime on the Hamler touchdown catch that we showed you. Atkins doing what he does, boots the ball deep into the end zone. Back for another studio update. Matt, thank you. As you give that update, they did find the end zone on an end around, so the Irish beginning to separate against USC.
That touchdown has brought the crowd back into this game for the Tigers defense.
Trask with 3 in the play clock. Gives it to Piron, nothing doing. He has to fight and claw and scratch to gain 2 yards. This week's All-State rankings, top 10. And the headline is Georgia lost in double overtime to South Carolina. That Dogs offensive line just eaten alive today.
Yeah, Georgia, very, very surprising. Teams are going to have, those top teams are going to have a game like that. Georgia looked like they might escape. They ended up obviously losing that game in 2 overtimes. Oklahoma, great game against Texas. Their defense stepped up in a big way.
Tyler Shelvin, the nose tackle for LSU, is down. We'll take a timeout.
ESPN College Football, brought to you by General Mills. Bring more to your game day with General Mills tailgate recipes. See what you can create at wearetailgatenation.com.
5th biggest house in college football, 103-321 here in Tiger Stadium. Goodyear providing aerial coverage, recognizing those who strive to rise above the rest. Goodyear, more driven. Gators back to work. 2nd and 8. Once again down by a touchdown. That helped Shelvin to the sidelines. Play action. Trask has some time. Takes a downfield shot, and it's a diving play by Pitts. Athletic tight end went up and got it.
Wow, that's the matchup. Pitts against Delpit. Pitts, who's a great tight end at 6'6". Delpit, one of the best players in college football at 6'3". Loves to be challenged to play man-to-man, but Kyle Trask makes that play. Pretty good coverage, by Delpit, puts it up high where the big fella Pitts can go up and make a play on it. Great throw, Kyle Trask.
26th catch for Pitts. Or 25 committed, 29th now for the season. He leads all Power 5 tight ends in receptions and is second in all of FBS. From the 45, Trask zips a slant, and it's another catch made right in front of Stingley by Hammond as they get the slot receiver involved.
Florida lost a great quarterback in Felipe Franks, a veteran guy who's played in a lot of games, and everybody wondered how they're going to do with Kyle Trask, who hasn't played a lot of football. He stepped in down 21-10 in the fourth quarter against Kentucky in Lexington, brought them back. He's played very well since then. Dan Mullen deserves a ton of credit, along with Brian Johnson, the quarterback coach, of putting him. He just looks technically so sound, so efficient, and looks confident with his decisions tonight in a very tough environment against an athletic defense.
Sure does. On 2nd and 2, Pirine makes a cut, and he'll make first down yardage and more inside the 30. Trask wearing Steve Spurrier's number 11. There is pressure. I don't care if you're a backup to begin this season. You step into this spotlight at Florida, and there's pressure.
Yeah. Oh, of course, especially when you wear that 11. And how we get Emory Jones back into the game. This little wrinkle we saw on a few series earlier, where he can run, he can also throw the football.
Jones carried it twice for 15 yards in his first appearance.
So 4 receivers to the bottom here.
He's a very confident passer. Came from a high school spread offense in Georgia. Unafraid to sling it and not intimidated by this environment. But there was some confusion. There was no one to fake the handoff to. He still battles forward down to the 20. It'll be 2nd and short.
You know, I did that against Auburn, and I think that's more of a timing mechanism. It allows the guard Heggie to get around. It gives Pirine a chance to pick up his block there on Jacoby Stevens. And it's a slow developing play, but once the blocks come around to the left side, with his speed, he's able to accelerate, get behind those blocks, and pick up good yardage.
So while he's killing time, just fake a handoff to nobody.
Just kind of like, just float it out there.
Well, it worked, as you said, for 8 yards. Empty backfield now on 2nd and 2. Jones looking to throw over the middle. Caught, and the ball comes out. Pitts grabbed it. Out of the end zone. They'll rule incomplete. It was a bang play, but don't think he had it long enough for a catch. It was close.
I love the call, and I love that you get the linebackers coming up concerned about the quarterback's ability to run the football. He's going to run? Nope. Play action right there. Throw it on a line. He can't float it. He's got to throw it on a line. It's what he does. Now Pitts has got to hold on to the football. Delpit knocks that ball loose with the contact there to the big tight end.
You saw Trask on the sidelines leap. He thought it was a touchdown, but Delpit laid his body on the line. The safety still down on the field as he went down low against Pitts, but did save a touchdown.
He did. That is a big tight end.
Trask
he's hit
got
it. Yeah, Trask thought they had it. Emory Jones thought they had it. It's good to see Grant Delpit, more importantly, up and walking off the field.
Tough guy who forgot to put his mouthpiece in and got a busted lip in the game against Utah State.
Todd McShay, 4th overall prospect, and what an impressive young man. We sat down with him yesterday, just a guy that his smile lights up the room, just a guy you pull for.
The PlayStation Player Impact ranking, highest rated safety in the SEC, a 97 rating. For the moment, he is out, and it's 3rd and 2. The Gators have struggled mightily on 3rd and short. One of the worst teams in the country in this situation.
Well, you got Emory Jones back there, which makes it feel a little different.
4 receivers to the left. Jones is running all the way, and he is, with that quickness, going to gain first down yardage. It was predictable, but his speed earned him the first down.
Watch Shelvin. He is 340 pounds right here. He gets a push. Actually, I think he may have got his hands on it. Yeah, he did. But the speed and also the power there of Jones pulls out of the grasp of Shelvin. 346 pounds. He's had an impact there in the middle tonight for that LSU defense.
One of the guys who's really battled his weight and getting down under 350, but it took some hard work and some dieting, which they've emphasized here at LSU.
Trask back in.
First down from the red zone. Trask's got it, zips it across the middle, broken up and almost intercepted. It was deflected by Jacoby Stevens. And then
Yeah,
bat in the air.
Jacoby Stevens is sitting back here, just kind of waiting and feeling Pitts, seeing what he might do. Also, Kroll goes to the outside, but his instincts tell him, hey, they're throwing the ball a lot to 84. He jumped it just in time to get his hand in there cleanly and knock that ball away. No pass interference, and as you said, Chris, Tigers almost with a pick.
Yeah, Cameron Lewis just unable to react quickly enough to the deflection. And Delpit is back in the game on 2nd and 10. That's good news. Play action. Trask from the pocket takes off, has yardage, lowers the shoulder, shows some toughness. That'll impress teammates. Delpit stopped him, but it's 1st and goal.
Yeah, he wanted to throw the ball back to the boundary to Van Jefferson, but Queen, the middle linebacker, 8, did a good job of taking that away. It was covered, so instead of giving up on it, just throwing it away, again, the athletic ability to pick up some big yards, and he picks up a 1st down.
How about the stutter step? Then he threw his shoulder into Delpit.
Yep. Kid has been impressive tonight.
Looking to throw. Has plenty of time, now rolls out, cuts back into heavy traffic. Another big collision. That time he stopped short. He's not flinching.
No, he's 240 pounds. I thought he might try to go a little earlier and go off to the right. You know, he sat in his pocket tonight and had some success throwing the ball. Again, they're only rushing 3. It's a tight windows with 8 in coverage, but he lowers that shoulder and tries to run. Yeah, like he's a fullback.
On 2nd and goal, Pirine picks his way, not going to get there. Slung down nicely by Damone Clark, middle linebacker.
Yeah, the defensive line did their job there of eating up those offensive linemen and freeing up Clark, 35, to be able to get downhill quick enough to keep him short of the goal line. Those big bodies doing their job down there. Free the linebackers, let them attack downhill.
Jones back in the game as they try to get the final 2 yards in this drive. Tigers have been so tough in situations like this all season.
Yeah, 6 different Tiger defenders run onto the field. Probably get Jones on the edge.
Pirine to his left.
There he goes.
Straight run. Knocked down short.
How about rallying to the football? Setting the edge on the outside with Delpit right here. He's going to set that edge, and then you'll see these linebackers being able to come in and help clean it up. Delpit's got to stay outside of Pirine. He does. A little bit of penetration there on the inside by Farrell, and it's those linebackers coming downhill to make the play.
Divinity just lowered the shoulder, and Mullins' offense on the field. Ball inside the 1 on 4th down. 3 tight ends in the game. Jones still at quarterback. It's really loud. The LSU student section's in that end, and they are on their feet and roaring. So Emory Jones, redshirt freshman, crucial play coming up after this timeout. Could be one of the defining moments of the football game. Florida had 1st and goal at the 4. 3 plays, net 3 yards. Now it's 4th down from the 1.
Before we went to the break, Emory Jones has been out there and had a chance to be a ability to run or throw. They're going to keep him out there. Ball at the half-yard line.
Pirine is the back. 3 tight ends in for the Gators.
Loudest part of the stadium right here.
Jones looking to throw, lofts into the end zone, jump ball, caught, touchdown off the carom by Pirine. You need a little luck sometimes in Death Valley when you're the visitors.
How about the throw? Justin Thomas actually has Emory Jones. They didn't fall for it. Watch him right here. He's able to get off of the block and get into the backfield. They slip Pirine out into the flat. Look at Jones working. He's falling back a fadeaway. He's got 2 receivers out there in Pitts and Pirine against 1 defender. He puts it up, hoping that somebody makes a play. Queen actually got his hands on the ball.
I think Pirine ripped it out of his hands.
Yeah, it goes up in the air, and Pirine comes down with it. So terrific effort by Emory Jones to put it up give his players a chance to make a play.
And both Gator quarterbacks have been outstanding. There have been 2 75-yard touchdown drives with the Gators. 12 plays, then 13 plays, and this game even again at 14. What a play. Ryan with a touchdown catch after playing DB on any other down from the 1-yard line. You don't make that decision if you're Emory Jones, but on 4th down you figure, what the heck, we got to try to make a play. He did have 2 guys out there, and number 2 came down with it. Edwards-Helaire from the 5. Dart straight up the middle, and it's knocked down at the 24. To Matt Berry.
Thought he'd just throw that in there. Arizona State with a big win.
Utes quietly having a good year. So each time the Tigers have gone up by a touchdown, the Gators have answered with a methodical drive. Now Burrow back to work doing what they do. Slings it to Thaddeus Moss, the tight end, gets 5.
Joe was telling us yesterday with this offense and how they attack. You know, if you're going to sit back and try to keep everything in front, it's kind of an extension of a running game. They're going to get the ball out quickly and just throw that all day. And once you come up, that's when they're going to take their shots downfield.
Yeah, they haven't done that yet. The 9 completions for just 96 yards, but the 2 touchdowns. And this is Edwards-Helaire. Lowers the shoulder, physical run, 1st down across the 35.
Gators have done a pretty good job of defending Burrow, and the other thing, maybe the best defense tonight, those 2 75-yard drives, keeping Joe Burrow and that offense on the sideline.
And then ultimately quieting the crowd. Burrow, another throw on 1st down, and it's caught. And it's Thaddeus Moss working free, stiff arm. He's dragged down by Sean Davis in Florida territory.
What I love to watch with Joe Burrow is just to watch his mind work. Watch him drop back and work through progressions. He's looking underneath, goes to the next level, sees the matchup there with Moss matched up against the safety Davis, throws the ball accurately and in rhythm. Another 1st down.
At 25 yards, Moss fired up. He's from Charlotte. First time his dad has ever had a chance to see him play in person at LSU. So you know he wants to put on a good show. Burrow 10 of 11 now. Edwards-Helaire, big crease, busted to the open, down the sidelines, touchdown, Tigers.
Sometimes when Burrow in the passing game doesn't do anything, they still affect the play, Chris. Ventrell Miller, the linebacker, watch how slow he is, worried about play action pass to Phil. Waiting. By the time he reacts, the back here, Edwards-Helaire is gone. So they have prepped all week on he's going to fake the Edwards-Helaire and throw right behind you. So they're very hesitant to come up, and that creates great running lanes at the 2nd level for Edwards-Helaire in this running game.
Brad Stewart, the safety, got knocked down. 39-yard touchdown run. What you said is a great point. This is an LSU offense where the defense is thinking it's 1st down. They're going to throw, right? And they got tricked.
Yeah, and the other thing is the offensive line from LSU controlling things, whether it's pass protection or opening up holes for Edwards-Helaire. We have an interesting game starting to settle in
back
here.
on top. The always crazy LSU student section. Taco Bell celebrating student sections by awarding the Liv Moss Student Section of the Year. LSU, of course, on the watch list. Go to ESPN.com/Taco Bell to see how your school can compete. Use the hashtag Liv Moss Student Section Contest. Like the LSU Tigers are driving a Lamborghini. They're just racing down the field. Then Florida gets on a big diesel truck, and they're just grinding their way to 2 touchdown drives. And now they have to try to answer again, Kirk. Kick off week 6 NFL Sunday with the Countdown crew on ESPN and the ESPN app, 10 o'clock Eastern. And all the early breaking stories, the injury updates, and preview the games right up to kickoff. And cap off week 6 of the NFL's 50th season of Monday Night Football on ESPN Deportes on the app. The Lions and the Packers kick off news coverage at 6 o'clock.
If there's any surprise tonight, it's that LSU is running the football. You know, Edwards-Helaire, 121 yards already. They have 21 plays, 10 runs, and 11 passes. So much more balanced than they've been coming into tonight, where it's been mostly about Burrow and the receivers in the pass game.
At 266 total yards. They're approaching what Florida has been averaging giving up in the game. Trask, look at a throw, downfield shot on first down into traffic, and it's broken up by Christian Fulton, trying to find Van Jefferson, get him involved finally.
Yeah, trying to find these receivers matched up. A favorable matchup. Fulton has some experience. He's played a lot. We've seen Flott, who's stepped in there from time to time, opposite of Stingley. LSU concerned more about the inside of that defense in coverage against Trask, whether it's been Pitts or those inside receivers or even Pirine coming out of the backfield.
Dan Mullen has not hesitated to let Trask take downfield shot after downfield shot.
Confidence in the way he's executing right now.
There's a second down run by Pirine. He'll struggle forward for about 4. 3rd and 6 coming up.
Chris, that's a great point. I don't think Dan Mullen, when we wondered all week, would he look down at that play sheet like he's doing right there and say, no, I don't think he can handle that one. No, I don't think he can handle that one. I don't think anything at this point is holding him back with his confidence in number 11.
But they need 6 to keep the drive alive and keep Burrow off the field. 5 receivers, empty backfield, plenty of time on the clock.
Here's the matchup.
There's Pitts in the slot. Trask was looking that direction, tries to find it to him, and draws a flag.
That's a matchup all day you got to take. LSU usually would have Delpit man-to-man against a big tight end. Instead, it's Jacoby Stevens who gets called for the interference. And like I looked down and saw that matchup, I know Kyle Trask saw the same thing.
Interference, defense, number 3, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
You're right. That's the first penalty penalty. His eyes went right.
Yeah. As soon as he saw that, he kind of stepped up and made the check, because this is the matchup. They want to get 3 matched up against anybody. He's more of a physical thumper type of safety than he is one-on-one in space, especially against the tight end in Pitts.
Only 3 penalties, no turnovers, no sacks yet in this first half. And it really hasn't been the nasty, chippy affair that both teams led us to believe we might be in store for.
I think both coaches kind of dropped the gauntlet on some of that leading up into the game. They didn't want to have anything to kind of take away from this game.
Really fascinating as you see Orgeron hoping his defense would step up tonight, but it's been 2 different quarterbacks for Florida. Dan Mullen working that masterfully, and then Burrow and the LSU offense just doing what they've done all year, basically.
Yeah, and I think you got to give both coaching staffs a lot of credit, because Joe Burrow is doing what they've done with the exception of running the ball more. And then for Dan Mullen to come into this environment and not hesitate at all, not just with Trask, but also bringing in Emory Jones and kind of throwing havoc into the wind, taking a few chances and playing aggressively, which is what players feed off. They like that confidence the coach shows in them.
First down. Gators trying to get even before halftime. 3:03. They got all their timeouts. Trask from the pocket, hit as he throws. Dangerous throw, and it's broken up. Delpit came flying across from the center field position, had a chance to make a pick. Phillips pressured him.
This is why everybody loves Delpit. Watch the range. He can play up tight and play man-to-man, or watch him anticipate the throw and then the speed. Now, he doesn't come up with the interception, but as Trask gets hit, can't really follow through, Delpit is in great position to go up and make a play on the ball and come up with that interception, just unable to hold on to it.
That's the biggest hit they've had tonight on Trask.
Yep.
Jacob Phillips from Nashville, Tennessee. Davis is the back. They fake it to him, and wide open. Pitts running free, and the tight end continues to be a weapon. They're threatening inside the 40.
I've been waiting for this call because they did it earlier, and he missed it. And I thought, okay, eventually they're going to go because this right here. LSU's not respecting that play fake. Immediately they're attacking upfield. Dan Mullen's been kind of setting that play up, giving the ball, and then this time they sneak the tight end behind those aggressive safeties and linebackers, and Pitts picks up good yardage.
Sophomore from Eastern Pennsylvania, 3 catches tonight. And running into traffic. Patient with this running game. They think they can bust one late. That's what happened against Auburn.
And the chess match between Dave Aranda and what we're saying with Dan Mullen is very obvious. This is one earlier that I'm sure upstairs they saw, and it sets up. So they're thinking, okay, we didn't get it this time, but let's come back to that a little bit later. That was about 2 series ago. Dan Mullen put a little check mark by that one and waited for the right time to call it.
Second and 6. Trask across the middle again targeting Pitts, who makes a nice hands catch down in the red zone. He beats Stingley.
This guy last week against Auburn, he was the guy, right? Trask knows he's coming back to him. He moves the safeties with his eyes. Hands get underneath the ball as it gets near the surface. But Pitts is a matchup problem because he's bigger than a corner and he's faster than a safety or a linebacker.
Jones back in the game. Huron motions out. It's a straight run. And we're seeing shades of Chris Leak and Tim Tebow. When Mullen was the offensive coordinator for Urban Meyer, they kind of rotated within the game, playing different roles.
It feels like that. You're right. Now, we're under a minute. He's got 1 timeout remaining. So while he's shuffling these quarterbacks in with his headset's kind of off, he's got to also be aware of the time in that 1 timeout.
Spur used to shuttle quarterbacks in and out every play out of necessity.
Yeah. Trask got to pick it up here a little bit.
Moving around. It's inside of 30 seconds. Trask takes off. Last minute flips it short there to Jefferson. He gets out of bounds with 22 seconds left. Third down.
He missed it, and his eyes were looking back to the middle of the field. He had Cleveland as he starts to scramble and work his way to the right. Look in the back corner of the end zone. Right back here. He ends up throwing it short, but if he would have been able to recognize Cleveland broke away, he had a touchdown.
They need a yard, and it's been tough all season for the Gators in these situations. Trask still in the game. It's a straight run. Doesn't have quite the speed, the get off of Jones, but good enough to get a first and goal.
Tempo here. You got it fired into the ground. You got the 1 timeout. Trask is okay. He's ready to get back up. He understands now. You got to call the play or just fire it into the ground and kill the clock. They got to just kill the clock.
They move the 6, and then the clock is wound, and he fires it now with 9 seconds. They have that 1 timeout holding on to.
He's holding on to that.
Describe the challenge, though, for quarterbacks, rotating within a drive. Now you find yourself down in the red zone. You've been in, you've been out.
Yeah, it is tough because most quarterbacks play within a rhythm and within an offense. And I think Trask, though, is not letting anything, whether it's the defense, the crowd, Jones coming in. He has been very, very dialed in on the execution. He's got to get the ball out of his hands quickly once he finds that matchup that he has. There's Pitts one-on-one at the top against Fulton.
Trask looking to his left, zips it short into heavy traffic, caught for a touchdown by Van Jefferson. Another long, impressive drive by this Gators offense.
Well, his father's probably watching if he's not here. Sean Jefferson, who played in the NFL, now a coach in the NFL. And look at the technique by Van and then the hands by Van. This is why you practice the jugs and you work and work and work. Little pull there, but it didn't matter. Jefferson, a great route, and I love this part. Extending, using those hands, and getting into the end zone. Perfection.
known for running excellent routes. Of course, as you said, schooled by his dad, transferred from Ole Miss, and talked about how precious it was to spend time with his dad when he goes home to work on just stuff like that.
That's right. How about the throw by Trask, by the way, away from the defender, down low, where Van Jefferson can make a play on the football.
Tied for the third time, 4 seconds before halftime. We check in with Matt Berry. Irish, by the way, continue to lead 21-3 over USC in a low-scoring affair and a blustery night in Iowa City. 7-6 Nittany Lions. 3 75-yard touchdown drives. That was quicker. They didn't have the time to work with, but Orgeron's defense, they expected to be able to slow this Gator offense a lot better than they have so far.
Remember, he said, what do you think you're going to have to score? He said maybe 40. And you're like, wow, expecting a close game. He didn't really say, well, we're going to give up that many. But he did kind of tip his hand that this game could potentially go back and forth.
Yeah, I asked Mullen, and I always do, what do you expect? He wasn't really sure. He thought there was a real chance it could be one of those low-scoring games. But these guys were prepared for a shootout. And there's a short kickoff and a fair catch made with those 4 seconds left by Carter. Figured to get a kneel down here, and it'll be a very entertaining final 30 minutes. See which two of these teams can remain unbeaten. Penn State unbeaten as the Wolverines come calling, unbeaten for now. We talked about the game in Iowa. Next Saturday night on ABC, the whiteout begins at 7:30 Eastern time. Pretty even first half. LSU with 266 in total offense. The Gators with 246. Both teams have been pretty balanced. And we will go to the locker room.